All right. Today, I get the privilege of speaking and introducing a good friend of mine. This is someone who I was lucky enough to meet when I was a youngin', whose creativity, style, and hustle inspire all those around him. A gentleman who embodies the virtue of living in the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend, Myles. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me, Roderick. It's a pleasure to be here.
Dude, a pleasure to have
Oh
you, man.
man, thank
Man,
you for real.
oh,
I'm
I was
excited to talk.
bit. Excitement is an understatement, bro.
Yeah.
Excitement is an understatement. But yeah, like I was saying a little bit earlier, part of the reason, of course, aside from you being a good friend, a good friend of mine, part of the reason why I wanted to bring you on is to give you a platform to for you to speak on everything that you're working on. And honestly, like I think the best place to start, at least from what I was writing down, is I want to know like where you get your creative style, like your inspirations, like where do you think all that comes from in regards to like all your work and everything that you do?
Creativity and like style, as in like the way I dress, or like clothing and
Just
fashion. Or...
yeah, all of it, because all of it encompasses you, as you know. It's all like these little things. It's like you're the intersection of all your creative virtues and,
Mm,
and inspirations. And I was just curious as to like where do you think that comes from? And I'm sure it's not just one place. So yeah,
mm.
you could speak on that as much as you can.
That's a great question. That's really something I need to think about more often, or more in depth.
Hmm.
I would say the reason why I carry myself would be back in the day, back when we attended St. Anthony's.
Hmm.
I know you know that I was into dancing a lot
Oh
when it
yeah.
comes to like there was a trend, you're a jerk, that jerk dance.
Yeah.
So I kind of got the swagger and like the way they dressed from them. I kind of took them as like inspiration. So once I found like that route, that's when I started to dress like the way they kind of dress and the way they carry themselves, like a little swaggy. They have a little pep in their walk.
Right.
But another like inspiration would be like from my cousin Jason. Um, I grew up with him, and he was into like skateboarding. So I was I kind of had like two lanes when it comes to style and the way I dress and the way I act and speak.
Right.
So it would be like a little grunge skater vibe, but also mixed with hip hop and like East Coast rap and stuff.
Word.
But you know,
That's what's
that was
up.
like that's the history for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, it's one of the things that like I always felt like I missed out on in moving to Rockland. Like once we moved out of Yonkers, like of course, in the late '90s and in the early 2000s, like Yonkers isn't or wasn't like the best place to be on earth. But the thing is all the areas around the city. I mean, it's not even just New York City, but just cities in general here in the States. Like, they flourish with so much fucking culture, bro. And like, it's. I feel like it gives birth to so many identities, and it's why like all the creatives seem like they're from there. It's because it's a landscape of I don't even know how to word it. It's such a landscape of openness, and individual opportunity, not just like career opportunity. I mean more like opportunity to be yourself and opportunity to test other versions of yourself. You could be like, oh no, I didn't like what I did there. Let me do this instead. I didn't like that shirt that I wore. I like this style better. I didn't like that style of music. I like this style of music. And in Rockland, once we moved out, like Rockland is so cookie cutter. It's so like like it was so bland, bro.
Bland.
Yeah, bro. Like we went from like the Mexican food of dinner tables to like eating matzo crackers, like there's no seasoning, it's like there's no culture, there's no
Yo,
none of
yeah,
that
bro.
shit.
You need a little sazon in
Do
there
you know what I'm
to
saying?
celebrate.
And so
Exactly.
that's why I kind of had to ask, because it's like, I mean, I kind of had a hunch that we're all products of our environment, and I kind of had a hunch that like, yeah, the environment would play a big role, but it's always good to see where the individual gets their inspiration and creativity from and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and the other thing is too, like when we was growing up in St. Anthony, I mean, maybe this is just me, but like it was a shock to go from wearing a uniform to just like free range clothing. And it was like I had no
Exactly.
idea how to do that. And for somebody
Yeah.
who stayed behind in St. Anthony school and a Catholic school, like I don't, maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like maybe even just like there was more, how can I word this? There was more incentive to create your own style, because when you're
Hmm.
creating your social circles, you were limited in style. So it's like once you're out of the classroom and all that stuff, and you're seeing your friends outside of the classroom, you have more incentive to show who you are. Like
Exactly.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I feel like growing up with the same 25 kids in the same classroom wearing the same clothes, you have a mindset of, oh, this is what life is just like, you're inside this bubble that you were forced to live in.
Right.
So I went through a big transition when once I went from Catholic school to like it was like a whole new world. Like my eyes was like open. I saw different. I met different people of different races, different backgrounds, and the environment, like you said, like where your environment was, it was just a huge, huge difference. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like my personality grew more when I left St. Anthony's and Catholic school.
That's what's up. When was that for you, by the way? Because I left, I think like at the end of third grade, so it was
Oh
like
man,
early. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I ran till eighth grade.
to eighth. Shit, bro.
Yeah, till eighth grade, bro. I was just the same
Damn.
mile, the same miles with the same different clicks. Like
Yeah, yeah.
when I had a public school, you would see everything different. I don't know how it was for you, but for me, it was
It,
super, super different.
it was a shock. I mean, it was something that I wanted to get to later in the show, but like
Hmm.
now that we're already here, like, oh, bro, it was such a shock, dude. Like, because the thing is what you actually said something key. Like, yeah, it was the same kids in the classroom, but those were cliques and friendships that were established early, bro. Like early in our lives. And like when I moved, it was the same thing in Rockland, just a different environment. But like those kids had already established their thing. So I was the outcast. Like it really is
Mm.
real, like what they show in the movies, like the kid moving to a new town or whatever. Like there's a reason why those stories are written, bro, because it was crazy. Like I walk in, it's like, yo, what's up? And they're like, fuck you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, all right, bro.
Like shit. What do I do now? Fuck.
Yeah, bro. So like, and then on top of that, you had to throw in the fact that because we moved, I went right into public school in fourth grade. So like on top of having struggling like crazy to make new friends, like I had to find a style. But we weren't that rich, so like my clothes were broadcasting, who I was. And I'm not saying that like I should have wore anything expensive or whatever. It was just like the cultural difference was crazy,
Yeah.
and it was just barrier after barrier that was adding to it, and it was tough. It was tough. It wasn't impossible, but it was a shock. That was kind of the word that I was saying before. It was a shock. It was a shock.
Yeah, like a culture shock, right?
Yeah,
Something along those lines.
yeah, because I'd imagine like by the time you got to high school, like you're already kind of like consciously aware of your environment. Like in fourth grade, I was what the fuck did I know?
Yeah, bro. I forgot fourth grade.
Same here, bro. That shit is.
I barely remember last month.
Yeah, I forgot what I had for breakfast, bro. That's just crazy, man. That's just crazy. Um, yeah. So I have here something that I was thinking about. I was writing a lot of these notes like last night. I do like last minute preparation as always.
Fire, bro. Fire,
Yeah,
fire.
I'm a procrastinator at heart. But something that's always like caught my attention, even well, not my attention, but like when it comes to our dynamic, I always know that we're the eldest of our siblings. You just have more than I do, and what effect does that have on you, like on you personally and on your creativity? Like being the elder brother, having a number of siblings, and all. I mean, you also like the other thing is like I know Filipinos are very family oriented. So like you know, how does that affect you negatively, positively on your personality, your creativity, all that?
Um, that's a good question. Personality wise, being the eldest, I do at times I do tend to think about it often, but I try not to delve into it and like stress me out.
Mm,
'Cause, as the eldest, it could bring a lot of pressure to you. I feel like there's a stigma of being the eldest. Oh, you have to be the richest. You have to be the most successful. This way, you could set a good example for them. And I can agree to an extent. Like the eldest should be a role model in a sense where
mhm.
they can look up to you. If they ever need anything, they shouldn't be second guessing. I can't even reach out to them. You got to be like the backbone to the family because you're the oldest.
Facts.
When the parents are gone, it's just mom and dad gone. It's really up to the eldest.
Right.
So that's a lot to think about. But as I said, I don't want to stress myself too much because I have a life to live for my own.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before I take care of them, I gotta take care of myself. You feel me? And once that is set, it'll be smooth. I think it'll be smooth sailing from there. Whatever they need, that's my goal. Whatever they need, I got them. You
That's
know what I'm
what's up.
saying?
Love it.
But creativity wise, being the eldest, kind of hard to answer. I don't know.
And take your time,
Like
by the way. You know, there's no pressure. We're not on a time limit. So if you got to think about something, go for it, man.
like creativity, like that's such a strong topic. Like
Like maybe
creativity.
maybe maybe I could sort of add a little something to a little season into that question, like in regards to the creativity. Because do you think it like raises the stakes on what you do and what you output towards life? Or maybe it doesn't. You know, maybe it has no effect on your creativity. I don't know. Um,
Mhm.
because being the
Like
eldest
my
kind of,
activities. Yeah, like what I do.
yeah, I mean, well, like something simple, right? Like maybe the clothes you wear, because I know you're big on fashion.
Mm,
Obviously we know as the eldest, like our siblings are watching, right? Um,
mm.
I don't know. I don't even know how to kind of like word this. Um, like maybe like I'll put it this way, right? Like I said, for me, it was a culture shock when I was young, moving to a new area, and I don't know. For me, like clothes were always this thing that you just wear. Like like my style was always in my words and not my clothes. And so like
Mm,
when I presented, whenever I'd speak to my siblings, it was always through action and through words, not through clothes. Not that it has to be that way. It was just what I
mm,
could offer.
mm.
But it again, it doesn't have to just be through clothes, because I know you're working on a
I
lot of
see.
projects. You know, maybe they're watching you. Our siblings get inspired by us, or maybe they don't.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
I don't know. Like this is just like a topic. You know, it doesn't have to be specific to the question.
I
If you have
get
any
it. Yeah,
ideas, you could just like blurt it out. Um,
I
and
get. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess. I just want them to see me as the cool, laid back, like nothing affect me. Like
Mm,
any bullshit, I just brush off. I want them to know that I'm calm. I'm not a hothead like how I used to be.
right.
You know, so I guess with fashion, they know I have a good sense of style. They know I could dress. So maybe if they ever need like styling tips, they could come to me or some shit. Or I guess I don't know how to
Yeah, it's
describe it.
it. That's the thing about creativity, bro. Is like it, because the thing about creativity is that we don't put things to words, right? Like I know I just said like I speak through words, but it's weird, like, cause the other thing about me, like, for most of my life I was a musician, right? So like whenever I had to translate something that I couldn't put into words, it was through sound, through music.
Mm,
And um you know, I'll put it even like this way, right? Like a lot of what makes my personality is sports. Like I love sports, and Danny and I always clicked on that regard. Like we always clicked in on sports. And to kind of like even answer the question that I'm giving to you is like, because the other thing I wanted to ask was like if it raises the stakes at all. Like I feel like I have an obligation to put my creative sense out into the world because I want them to know that there's no barriers. Like that the world like is just you battling the world with God, and we do it through our creative mindset. And that's like the message that I can give to them the best way possible. Um, the reason why I'm kind of like delving on all these topics and how you're inspired and how it affects your siblings and all that stuff is
mm,
because of how family oriented you guys always were. Like that was one thing I was always kind of envious about you guys is
mm,
how family oriented you guys are. And like that's why I'm curious to see like how your mindsets, your hustle, your creativity, it's not just fashion, right? It's your
yeah.
projects, your career choices in school and all that stuff. How like what effect do you think that has on your siblings, and what effect your siblings have on you, right? Because I learned a lot from Alan and Danny. I learned a lot from
Mm,
those guys.
mm,
And so a lot of who I am is also because of them. And so maybe even you
yeah.
could even talk about that, how like how
It's
much of an effect your siblings have had on you and everything that you're doing today.
yeah. It's actually it's interesting that you said you're envious about how family oriented, but a sad thing to say is that I'm not really as close with them as I wish to be.
Hmm.
Ever since I left my parents' house and I've been living at my grandma's, I barely talk to them. I only see them when they come here. So that's something I wish uh, we were closer. You know,
Hmm.
I don't really reach out. I'm just trying to figure my life out. Cause like I said a few minutes back, like once I take care of me, they'll be taken care of. Like I want them to know that I'll always be there for them, but I'm still trying to find my purpose. You know, I'm trying
Right.
to make my way. Cause I believe, or I think, like my little sister is always like more successful than me in this point in time. Like she moved out, she has a roommate, she lives in a nice apartment, like a brand new apartment. So
Good
I
for
kind of
her.
envy her, you know. I wish I was where she was. So I kind of feel behind in a way. I think
That's powerful,
I
bro.
think they I think they look up to her more than me.
Mm.
So that's I'm happy for Zoe. Like I always love them, wish them the best, but
God bless her.
it's my it's my time. It's our time, bro. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
got their life, we got our life. You know, family is always big. So once I make it, and when I do make it, that's when that's when I think we can all be glued together. Because I do feel like I'm on the side a little bit.
That's
I'm not
that's
as interactive with them.
that's kind of like it's such a crazy, because I would be lying if I said that like everything was peachy between my brothers and I. Like I've gotten closer with Danny over the past few years, but there's a lot of stuff that happened between me and Alan. Like I kind of broke off contact because, and this is nothing against Alan as a human being as a whole, but there was a disconnect between what he values and what I value in life, and how he treats people and how I treat people, and it was just too different. And part of it wasn't necessarily even something with Alan specifically. It was a pattern that I recognized with a lot of my family members, that I realized that like a lot of what was holding me back in my life was the fact that I was letting certain family members affect me way too much. And at a certain point, I think like you said something mad crucial, like in order in order for us to be that backbone that we feel is our responsibility as the eldest, we have to be grounded ourselves. You know, no,
Yes,
nobody builds a house on sand. You know, like
yeah,
you got to build a solid foundation for it.
yeah,
And I think it's it's like a like a two-way thing, right? Because I'd
Mhm.
imagine you seeing one of your siblings do very well. Obviously, you want to see them do well. You want to see all of them do well, but it's kind of like if you have a feeling, whether it's true or not, if you have a feeling that like one of them is doing better than you, that's got to light a fire inside of you. Like
Mhm.
a good one, right? Because we said
Yes.
kind of like
Yes.
how we said before we started this is kind of like God is the light, God is fire, fire is light, it's energy, and like that's gotta light something in you, and
Spark the fuel in me. Yeah, for sure. For sure,
um
bro.
and so yeah, it's just this weird man. That's just how crazy life is, man. It's like because nothing's cookie cutter, bro. This is the first time we're all living it. It's everybody's first time,
Mhm.
and is
Seriously, bro.
first of all, as an aside, is I'm glad as hell to hear that she's doing fantastic. You know, she was always a worker. She was always a hustler. That Zoe,
Yeah.
she was always a
Yeah.
hustler.
Yeah. Yeah, it also makes me want to get closer to her because I found out through my parents. My dad actually like questioned me. He was like, "Why don't you talk to Zoe?"
Mm,
And it was hard for me to answer, because I have so much tunnel vision from my own life. Like I shouldn't be brushing them away like that. I need
mm,
to include them more, but I'm just so like hyper focused on getting where I want to be. You know,
mm, right.
so I don't know, man.
Where do you
It's a
want to be,
sticky
bro?
situation.
Where do you want to be?
I want to be financially free. I'm hella debt, school debt, but I want to be in my own space, bro. I want to see what it's like to live by myself, cook
Hmm.
for myself. I want to be like a real fucking man, like a genuine, like
Right.
I cook for myself, pay my own bills, pay my own rent. I've been like, what's that saying? Silver, like spoon
Uh,
fed,
yeah, off a silver
something
platter.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, something
yeah.
like that. I've been like that my whole life, so I feel like I haven't felt struggle yet.
Right.
So I feel like I need to go through that, but I'm blessed where I want to be, and that's why I have this fire in me to strive to be where I want to be.
I could see it, bro. Because like what I said as the intro, bro, it wasn't a lie. Like aside
Thank
from
thank you.
everything, like is let me put it this way, bro. Again, this is something that I wanted to get to later in the show. And by the way, like, don't even think of this as like an interview, bro. This is just straight up a conversation. Like, I'm asking questions
Yeah.
because I want to get to know. I want you to expand on everything that you got going on, but I don't want this to be like an interview, bro. This is straight up a
Yo, for real,
conversation.
I appreciate it.
As
Yeah, yeah.
and so again, like this is something I wanted to get later on in the show, but bro, the dynamic between you and I was something I always felt was like a void, right? And I bring this up because like I relate to everything you're saying so much. Like I'm in a position on paper, on paper, I'm in a position where no man should ever be. Same thing, hella debt, but hustling like a motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
And it seems like the fruits of our labor aren't showing yet. They may not be
Mhm.
showing, but they're not showing yet. And I think that's the yet, that word yet is the shit that keeps me going, bro. That's the fucking thing because if we were dead in the water, I would have just called it quits. But I know one,
Mhm.
the word yet is still there, and I know two, God is watching me, and He has something better for not only me but for everybody else. And the reason why I was kind of getting real is because one of the reasons why I always had an issue with my mom interfering in our dynamic was because she didn't see what I saw. Because the thing is that there was most of my closest friendships have deteriorated, not only because she decided to move me away from those relationships, but because she interfered with them um, to the extent that they did lead to deterioration. But how can I word this properly? It interfered because she always thought she knew something that I didn't. And ironically speaking, it's the other way around, which was very confusing as a kid because the parent is supposed to know more than the child. That's the point of a parent. But it was very confusing for me because I'm like, people's situations don't dictate who they are, which is why I think all of this shit connects, right? Like I don't think our situation that we're in right now genuinely expresses who we are, but at the same time, I feel like I missed out on a lot of your life and of our life combined, right? Because like your life is one thing, and then the lives that we live in combination with each other, in conjunction with each other, is also another thing that I always missed out on. And
Mm.
she underestimated a lot of people. She underestimated Alan. She underestimated Danny. She underestimated me, and she underestimated you. And I felt like that was always a massive interference. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because, like, again, what I said in the intro wasn't a lie. Like, I could see the hustle that you bring to the table. You know, it might not be the cookie cutter hustle that you see on TV or whatever. Hustle is hustle, bro. Hustle is
Mhm.
hustle, you know, and like I knew you. I knew you. That was always kind of like my strength, is like I could know people from a very short burst. And I was always saddened by the fact that I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, Mom, this motherfucker works hard, bro. Like, I need to be close to this motherfucker. And it was just separation, bro. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, bro. And I don't even know where I'm going with all this. It's just like, it's just how it all connects, bro. It's just, it all connects. And I'm saddened, but again, it also like lights the fire, bro. I think it just strengthens the fire. And I think
I
it,
agree, bro.
again, I'm just yapping, bro. I got a degree in yapology, bro. Like that's
Yeah, for the yapping.
yeah.
Yo, but look, it brought us back, bro. The universe brought us back, bro. And you're on your hustle, I'm on my hustle, and somehow we linked up again.
That's how it is, bro. That's how it is.
Yo,
The thing, like, it's crazy because I was taking a shower before the call, and
hmm
it's, again, it's not just you. There was a few other friendships that were deteriorated because of my mom that never got to flourish. And I'm working my ass off to put myself in a position where now I want to take control of those relationships. Right? Like, she's out of the picture. I want this
yeah.
dynamic. If you know, God forbid our friendship doesn't work, at least it's on my watch. Right? At least it's on my watch. I want shit to fail or succeed on my terms or on your
hmm
terms. You know, like, I don't want it to be on
hmm
somebody else's terms. This dynamic was something that I never had a full say in. And again, I know I'm yapping a lot, but like the thing is like there's a lot to say. There's a lot of time that was missed out on between our
And we
dynamic.
have all the time in the world now. The world is in our hands, bro.
Salute.
You know what I'm saying? The world is in our hands. We are in control of our future. I'm always focused on the future, never on right now. That's what Travis Scott
Yes,
said.
salute. Damn, bro. Mm.
I'm sipping
Yeah, what you sipping on?
martingale,
Ooh,
some cognac. It's it's on the pricier side, but it was a gift to me, gifted from a good friend of mine, Che. I got it for Christmas, so
okay.
I'm just opening now, and
Nice.
it's a special occasion,
You
so that's
just
why
open it now, but that bottle's almost empty, bro. What the? Don't lie to me.
like a little some time ago I took like 2 3 shots.
Yeah, ladies
But
and
the
gentlemen, he
glass is
said 2 or 3. Yeah, I.
multiply that by 2.
Shh. Give me 1 second. Let me
Yo,
open up the door. Come here, Bubs.
who's that? Who's Bubs? Is that?
I, I, I got me a personal dog, bro. I got me my own dog now.
Cool, bro. You were
Yeah,
always a dog person, bro.
I love dogs,
I
bro.
remember. Always been a dog. We always me. I feel like you and I both have been. We grew up around dogs for sure.
Oh yeah,
I prefer a dog over a cat or anything.
And like I love animals and all that stuff, but yeah, dogs to me personally are the S tier. I gave him a treat to kind of keep him calm during the show, but he dogged that shit up mad quick, and he's been mad thirsty.
Really?
Yeah, so he's grabbing a drink. Once he comes back, I'll see if I can get it to pop up over here. But
Hell yeah,
yeah,
hell yeah.
I was always upset a little bit because like the golden that we had back at home was legally my mom's and her man's, so like it wasn't my dog, even though like
Yeah,
him and I were best friends.
yeah.
It wasn't legally my dog, so I couldn't bring him here. And after a few years, I got a call a little over a year ago about some pups that were for sale. Ironically, in Rockland, that was like the most ironic part. And so,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So my dog's a Rockland boy also, and oh,
Shout out
that's a nice
Rockland,
view.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, the view changed. Yeah, I have to charge my phone. It
Yep.
turned.
Hmm.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. I can't
Um,
wait to see this on from your perspective, bro. I wanna rewatch this for sure.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, yeah. This is a little bit of a different production. You're gonna be the first person that I do this over Discord. The other ones have been in studio, so it's
Yeah,
not gonna lie. It actually saves me a lot of editing. I'm not. That's why like I didn't
yeah.
mind which one. Of course, I'd love to see you in person, but yeah, it saves me a lot of editing.
Yo, editing is can be a hassle, bro. But I learned as a videographer myself, like content creator, it becomes more enjoyable when you know what you're doing and it's a lot
Yeah,
smoother. The process, the more you create, it's just like natural, bro. Like
yeah.
people ask me like, how are you so comfortable in front of a camera? You know, and then I guess it was just throughout the years, you know, you just always looking at yourself in the camera on your own phone, your own handheld. Like you
Right.
just know, yeah, you know,
That's what I've always been. And I hate to use the word envy because part of scripture is to not be envious, right? Like I
hmm
envy. What's the religious text for it? Like envy is a it's not a sin, or maybe it is, but I don't know what the word I'm looking for here. But nonetheless, I don't like to use the word envy, but it's the most honest I can be with the context. Part of moving to Rockland and the effects that like I had to deal with like trying to create new friends and relationships was the fact that I had to be more conservative in what I put out there in the world. And I'm not saying that was the right way to go. It was just the instinct, right? Like
hmm
if I embarrass myself too much, I become the laughing stock in school, and that was new to me, right? I went from an area of having all my close friends. And to the point where like I even remember a shitload of names from back in the day of like the friends that that I had in St. Anthony. Um, but like that effect like forced me to be a little bit more conservative in who I was. And whenever we got to chill, you were always so extroverted and vibrant. Like you would literally define the word vibe before that word became popular. You was a vibe before people knew what the fuck a vibe was. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
that's funny, bro.
You know what I'm saying? To you, it might be normal, but I promise you, bro, like from my perspective, like you have no idea, like what like how much you conflicted my views in a good way, right? I don't want to use the word conflict in a negative tone. It's a
Yeah,
good version of conflict because I'm like, bro, like Miles was always like he didn't give a fuck, bro, and I'm like I don't want to give a fuck, you know, I don't want to
yeah.
give a
And
fuck, you
because
know.
because I think the more you think on that, like they think of me, that makes you conflict yourself internally. You know what I'm saying, bro? So like so in tune with yourself, or like you know you.
Yeah,
Nobody knows you but you. You know what I'm saying? If you know you, nothing, nobody should affect your energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm big on spirituality. I'm big on like good energy. And something that I learned is that I could read people's energies. And in a way, I'm not like an expert, but you can see the hate in certain people's eyes.
right.
You can see the bad intentions. And then the more you see that, you get to see like authenticity, like someone being genuine versus someone being like fake, bro.
Right.
So that like just by leaving your safe space, like our rooms are our safe space.
Right.
And once we leave that front door to our house, we absorb everything around us, you know. So one thing I learned is to just tune it out, tune all the outside noise out, and remember my beam of light. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you said, I'm actually happy you said that because somebody else told me I'm very vibrant. You know, I try to be good, have good energy, but that's also dangerous. People will try to steal that from you, bro. And I learned that from my last relationship with some girl I dealt with. Um, yeah,
What
that's a
else is
different
new?
story though.
What else is new?
No,
Yo, what's this?
no, bro, I need a drink for that, bro. Like
Shit, my shit is empty, bro. Let me go get another one.
we gotta re
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Yeah, so this one I like these unruly trulies, bro. These unrulies, they're a little bit stronger. They got 8%. And I'm a scrawny motherfucker, so like,
That's
and
the
plus
higher, yeah.
I don't drink much. I like smoking. I got too much
Yeah,
anxiety to smoke, and I had a buddy of mine. I mean, not that I was always like I liked alcohol like like a regular person. I was never crazy about it, but I like to have a drink. I like to have a drink. But I had
for sure.
a buddy of mine who initially we were just coworkers, but when you sit mad close to somebody, you get to know them really well. And he unfortunately passed due to alcoholism. And so
I'm sorry about that.
that put that put a lot of gave me a lot of perspective. To not make
Definitely.
it a negative thing, I tried to take the positive out of it, which was a lesson. And it's like anything could be a poison in the excess, bro. Anything, right? Alcohol
Yes,
always gets a bad rep, but it's like if as long as you're just responsible with it, you got to be an adult about having fun. And like that's just how it was. And so I forgot why I was bringing that point up. But the nonetheless, these unruly trulies are going from somebody dying to unruly truly. These 8%ers, bro, with my scrawny ass, they hit because, like I said, I
OG, bro. Me too.
I don't be
Me
drinking
too.
all that
Even,
much.
even when it comes to smoking, I'm a lightweight. I'm a lightweight. I will take. I'll see the joint or blunt twice when it comes back to me. I don't want to see it a third time. I'm
Uh,
already smacked.
yeah, bro. It's
I'm
honestly
like, yeah, I'm
it's
good.
a little bit of a perk because shit's mad expensive nowadays. Like the less you need, the better because that's the less money you're spending. So,
Definitely, bro. Definitely, definitely.
but
I try to lay low on the smoking though.
yeah.
There's a reason behind it. I'm trying to train for a Spartan race. Like
Oh, word.
fitness is yeah, facts. Fitness.
That's
I've been into fitness
that's
lately.
actually something we could actually like branch off to because I've been peeping that you've been getting a lot into fitness and it's been it's been making me feel guilty. So screw you for that shit.
It's motivating me.
Yeah, bro. Screw you now. Get off my show. Where's end call? you know. Uh, but nah, it's something that I peeped you've been doing aside from all your projects. You've been vlogging a little bit on your exercise journey. You've been running a lot. I see. Yeah, I don't know. Expand on that to talk about how like I don't know. It seems like the smoking and maybe the drinking or whatever has affected your health or what. I don't know.
So I've been lifting since high school, but a major part in my life that drastically changed was my last like fling or situationship.
Hmm.
I was very fit before I met her, right? But within that time of me being with her, I lost sight of my inspirations. I lost sight of myself. I lost sight of my dreams. It was solely just for her. And now that I'm not with her, I'm able to do everything that I used to love before that. You know what I'm saying? So getting my body right, that shit makes you feel good. Like it's a natural high when you push your body, move your body past its limits. That's why I enjoy running.
Right.
Um, runner's high is a real thing, bro.
Is
You
it
know,
really? I was always
it
skeptical on
is.
that.
It is. Running at first, I can definitely talk about how difficult it is when you first start because I was never a runner.
Talk
I
to
was
me,
never on
bro.
a track
Fucking talk
team.
to me. The mic is all
You know,
yours.
I was never a runner. I was more lifting in the gym. But that's just really weights is just pushing. Running is a whole different mindset. It's a
Mm.
whole different battle because there's moments when your body is trying to make you to stop. But when you push past that, that's when the runner's high kicks and you're adjusting your body is naturally adjusting to undergoing stress.
Mm.
And just just like finishing a run, it's just like a dopamine high, like a dopamine rush. I know that there's different forms of dopamine, but I found recently that running is like the most natural high. Like I would always just get high smoking weed, or I'd be high after having sex with a girl, you know.
Right, right.
But running, bro, I recommend for everybody to feel good, like feel a rush in your body is to run. Um, and if you have bad knees like me, in a way, you could cycle, you could bike. But I think as a young person in our youth, like we're still young, bro.
Yeah, we
You
are.
know,
God
although
bless.
although we could, yeah, God bless us. We could still we The older we get, the less active we'll be.
Hmm.
So I have a mindset of just during your youth, just move your body. Move your body. Go for a walk, 30-minute walk. Enjoy nature. Go outside. It's not good to always be in your room in these four walls that you're in. You know what I'm
Preach.
saying? So fitness is very, very big, and I hope I find a fitness shorty. And a goal of mine is to be like sponsored or something by like Gymshark or fitness. You
Hell
know,
yeah. Hell yeah.
fitness is a big part of my life now, for real.
That's a pretty achievable goal too. That might be one of the goals that might be like around your corner because I could already see that shit happening to you. Like I could just see it, bro. Like this is one of those things where I was
Word.
like, this is why I'm saying like why I was always like mad about like how my mom treated our dynamic. It's just like, bro, like she doesn't see shit that I see. And like I don't know, you say that shit and like for me it
I
just clicks. It's like, yeah, how can that not be the case? Like
I
this motherfucker might have the
I
Gymshark shit
yeah.
next week, bro. Like, you know?
I think a big part. I think it was when I brought weed to your house, bro, and I had to leave that night. I think
You know what the fucking
so.
crazy part is? I don't want to cut you off, but here's the shit that pisses me
All
off, bro.
good.
Alan,
Whoa.
Alan found weed in her dresser, like all the time. That's where Alan started smoking. He would smoke my mom's shit. Like that was the thing. That was the thing, bro. That's why I was always so conflicted in the dynamic. Cause everything she was
I'm
opposed of, she
confused.
was doing
Yeah.
it, bro. She
How
was
was how was I ruining? Damn it. You know
you
what I'm saying? Like, I think I think she thinks I was bad, like a bad friend
Nah, you
or
know what it was?
inspiration.
I because over the years, like since cutting off communication with that side of the family, I learned a lot. Being able to step away and zoom out from shit, I was able to learn a lot. And this is kind of like the other reason I don't want to go off too much on a tangent because my ADHD is gonna make me lose track of shit. But like, it just all fucking connects. Like the thing is she and it's granted, I also don't want to blame her specifically. She just happened to be the catalyst by which my values were never came to fruition. So I don't want to sound like I'm blaming specifically her. Again, she's just the catalyst. But the thing is that side of the family is very power oriented and they have to be the ones to to how can I word this properly? They have to be the ones at the forefront of everything. And so it wasn't anything you did specifically. It was the fact that it was like this is actually a compliment towards you because she knew that you were a person of a strong personality and that you would have a big effect on me. She didn't like that. She liked people that had very little effect on me. She didn't like my
Wow.
father because my father would have a big effect on me. She didn't care that I had a good relationship with my brothers because she knew that I was the one that would reflect on them, and she knew that if she inflicted her personality on me, that would indirectly inflict her personality on my brothers because she knew that they looked up to me. So it was it was it was always the avenues by which those values were by which those values came to fruition. And so that's why I was always upset. And I remember this one time, and I'm sorry if this got a little bit too personal, but there was one time where you got very emotional coming to my house, and I didn't know how to articulate it into words, but I was saddened because I knew that it wasn't you specifically. And she didn't know it either. The way she was raised, she also was very unaware of how shit was. It just the way it was. It doesn't matter how it was, it was. And um part and parcel of all of it was that she knew that you would have a big effect on me. And so as a compliment to you, which is why I was saying you were very vibrant, like you were literally a vibe. Like and she knew that. Just nobody could articulate it into a word. That was the issue. And so it turned out it just went directly into action. We skipped the talking, we skipped the communication. It just went straight into action. And what always saddened me was the fact that like she came from the same fucking place as we did, bro. She lived in Yonkers just like you and I did. It was the same fucking thing, bro. And it always conflicted me as a kid, bro. It always did. And to the extent, and this is another off topic shit, like I want to apologize on behalf of that side of the family, bro. Like I hope maybe at the time it might have been something that you took personally, but I hope you never did, and I hope you never do. Like, please keep being you, bro. Like, on God, like, please do not stop. For the love of God, don't stop. Like, please.
I won't stop. We not gonna stop, bro, till we get to where we want to be, bro. And when we get to where we want to be, we gonna keep going, man.
Gotta keep fucking going.
I want to see the world, bro. I want to. That's what I want to do. I want to see the world the way my grandparents did. They done traveled over 70 countries. They're like, I don't want to see the world no more. I'm probably guessing it. 50, 70 is crazy, but they've traveled enough to where they're at the point like I don't need to travel anymore.
Right.
You know, I want to experience that younger than they did because they did it at such an old age. But you know, debt, travels, money, costs, all this shit. You know, that's why we just working to be the best. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
we need to be where we gotta be.
It's
I
just
don't know
so
where to go
crazy how
after that.
yeah, no, it's just the thing is it feels sometimes it feels like it might be talking in circles just because like again it just all connects with which is the other reason why I wanted to get you on here, right? Like yes, I want to make
Yeah.
something of my brand. Yes, I want to give you and your projects a platform. Yes, that's a given. But the other reason was, and this was actually kind of another reason why I had like some of my first guests on the show were the closest people around me. I've hit up
Okay.
some other guests, and those episodes are coming out in the coming weeks. But I wanted to get the people closest to me the earliest, just because in a way, and this might even sound selfish, but in a way, it almost felt like they're therapy sessions for me. I feel
Mm,
like finally getting to just say shit that I've been able to articulate stuff now after so much time.
mm,
Um, this is all stuff that like I sort of knew, but I didn't know how to put it into words for so many years. And back at
mm,
home, the other reason why I had to separate myself from that home was because everything was cloudy. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know how to think. I didn't know none of that shit. And it was a lot of betrayal, a lot of narcissism, and a lot of fog, bro. And a lot of it was a lot of distance away from God. And that was the issue. And
mm.
I was like, bro, what show or not, whether the camera is rolling or not, this was a conversation I've been wanting to have with you for a very long time. A very
Really,
long
bro.
time. And
Damn, I'm so happy. Once I seen you ask, put a smile on my face, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we go way back. You were one of my closest. I remember us racing in the St. Anthony's parking lot to see who's faster, and you fucking smoked me.
what? I thought you was always faster, bro.
Nah, I
What?
thought you smoked me. I had knee surgery. I can't run for shit no more.
Well,
I
lucky
can't
for
skate.
you, I was born with my ankles fucked. So shit, bro. We could do another race all chueco and shit, bro.
Yeah. Yo, but I also wanted to comment about other guests before me.
Mhm.
I also wanted to comment about other guests before me. 'Cause, you know, I had knee surgery. I can't run for shit no more. I can't skate. Yo, but I also wanted to comment about other guests before me. 'Cause, you know, I had knee surgery. I can't run for shit no more. shout all them out. I remember ciphering with all of them. I remember when I met all of them with you, and it was cool to see you guys talk. I didn't really tune into the episodes yet, but I had a question for you when you mentioned your guest.
Mhm.
Um, from those conversations, have you learned anything new from them, from having those talks with them? Like, did you learn anything new about
Mm,
them, or even yourself?
yeah. Um, I never articulated into words. Now that you got my brain churning, that's a good question. I say yes because there's always something to learn.
Mm,
But one, there was one episode where I did with a very close friend of mine. We go way back.
yeah.
And after the episode, things got, once the camera cut, we stopped recording. We said, all right, that's the end of the episode. Once the camera cut, things got very real and not in a
Mm,
positive way. And
mm,
if he's watching, he's gonna know who this is. I mean, luckily, I didn't have too many guests, so it might be able to narrow it down, but or he might be able to narrow it down. But I learned just how much of an effect time has on relationships if you don't keep up with them.
mm,
And that's why you were one of the people I hit up first. Well, yeah, one of the earlier. I don't want to say first because I already filmed 4 episodes, but um, it's I wanted to catch you as early as possible. It it taught me that there was a massive miscommunication between what we think, and it's crazy because I don't want to make it sound like the after the episode was done, like things went bad, but we're good now. And what it showed me was, I mean, like to answer your question, yes, there was a lot, and this was one of them. It was the fact that
mm,
you have to stay, you have to try your best to stay in touch with the people that mean a lot to you. Because if you don't, whenever there is a reconnect, the miscommunication can take a big toll. That's why, like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
mm.
One of the it's bro, like my brain is racing with thoughts. Thank you for asking, first of all. Thank you for
Of
asking
course.
because it's honestly it's crucial. It's got to be talked about. Kind of reiterating what I said a while ago, earlier in the episode. I don't want to give whenever I talk about my problems, it always results back to the issues that my mom caused. And I always hated the fact that my mom had so much power on my life. And because of that, it emasculated me. Because as a man, we should be the ones in control. And I don't mean that like as some sort of like power thing or whatever. It's just more so like,
Mhm.
can I as a man put order into my own world? Right. It's not like even like a power thing. Maybe the word power is a bad word to use. It's not the right word to use, but there was a sense of control. I feel like I was a passenger in a car that was speeding, and like I couldn't steer
Mm,
the wheel. I couldn't control the brakes. I couldn't
yeah.
control the gas. I couldn't
Mhm.
change the gears. I was just a passenger. And all I could do
Wow.
was either put my seatbelt on or not. I could take my seatbelt on or off. Like that's all I could do. And if I jump out of the car, I know I'm gonna die. And if I stay in the car, at least I might have the airbag to save me. And like that was what my life
Mm,
felt like. And
damn.
in that dynamic between one of my close friends and I had realized just how little control I had. And it wasn't that like I did it deliberately. I always tried to be the one to have some sort of control of my life, but it really opened me up to just how deep the cut was. And it opened up to the imperfections that I brought to the table. Because we all bring imperfections to the table. We all bring
Mhm.
imperfections. That's
For sure.
again, this is why my brain is racing with thoughts because part of what like a being God is perfect, right? So that means that he can be omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent. In other words, being anywhere at once, all knowing, and can be anywhere in time, right? He's
Mhm.
perfect. He's perfect. And the trait that he gave to us, the gift that he gave to us, was limitation.
Mm.
That's the gift because God doesn't have limitation. He's perfect. So he gave it to us. And part of having limitation and part of the life that we live is how do we combat our limitations? In other words, how do we combat our imperfections? And when I was speaking to my friend, once the camera cut, once I hit stop record, and the imperfections of our dynamic exploded between each other. Not you and me. I'm just talking about but between me and one of my
Yeah.
guests, because that was your question.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, man, it brought so much light to so many things. And I was like, fuck. I can't blame
Mm.
him. I can't blame myself. I can't blame my mom. And then I realized blame isn't the issue. There's no time for blaming. There's only time for
Mhm.
fixing. There's
Yeah.
only time for fixing, bro. And I was so fixated on like, who do I blame? Where do I point the causality to all of this? And I realized that like what I learned from speaking to my guests was communication is one of the most key forms by which we combat this gift of limitation that God has given us. And again, it aside from giving you a platform, giving all my shit a platform, it's the other reason why I had to hit you up. I felt like it was an obligation to have a conversation with you. So to like you by virtue of being on the show is kind of answering the question that you just asked. Is I have to recommunicate with the world that I've always wanted. The dynamic that I had with you from St. Anthony was something that I never got to fully live out. You know, I was involuntary
Mhm.
extracted. I had no control in moving to
Yeah.
Rockland. I had no
Yeah.
control
Yeah.
over none of that. I had
Yeah.
no control over my friendships. Even in the years in my teen years when I brought you over, when I brought my other friends over, because there was a few other people that my mom was wrong about. And even in Alan's life, there was a few other people that she was wrong about. And I'm looking at those people right now today. I'm looking at their life and I'm like, I'm sure their life is imperfect. I don't want to judge their life by social media, but I could just tell that they've matured. They've gotten better and all that shit. And that they're learning, bro. Like that's the thing, right? Because with another thing, what I'm getting from you is that you've been learning, bro. You haven't been an idiot to your
Evolving.
surroundings. You've
Mhm.
evolved, bro. And like I couldn't be any more fucking prouder of you and those other people. I don't want to give any names, but I couldn't be any more fucking prouder. And then it just lights a bigger fire in me because it's like
Yeah.
she got me wrong just as she got you wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, now I got to prove what I believe to be like the assumptions that people have of me, and most importantly, that my mom has had of me. I got to
Mm.
prove all those shits wrong, bro. And so there's no like direct answer to your question, but other than yes, I've learned a lot. And I
Good.
just, I,
Like it brought clarity to the fog in a way.
yes.
No, bro. It's crazy how communication can go a long way. Communication is how us humans fucking evolve throughout mankind, bro. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
That and
So
time.
that does.
They work,
Yeah,
time and communication work hand in hand. It's
yeah,
just
man.
so crazy. It's so, and I had a lot of time to meditate on it, and it sucks because like I didn't know how to put it into words for so long. Like it wasn't until like recently, within the past like 2 years, that I've been able to like articulate it. And then I just kind of been like watching you from social media, you know, it's like, but I've been watching from
Yeah, man.
afar, and I'm like, bro, I'm like so fucking proud of you, bro. Regardless, even if you know your circumstances aren't perfect, your circumstances aren't like all where you want to be, you know where you're not where you want to be, all that shit. Regardless of all that shit, I couldn't be any more fucking prouder. Not just you, of your
Yo,
siblings too,
bro.
bro. Like it's everybody.
Yeah,
It's
thank you,
crazy.
bro. Thank you, bro. And I've been seeing you lately too on social media, and I see what you're doing. That shit put a spark in me to continue whatever I'm doing too, bro. You seem very passionate, and I love that for you. You know,
I
keep
appreciate
doing
that.
this shit, bro.
I
Keep
appreciate
doing
that
this
shit.
shit, bro. You talk. You have a voice. You know, use your voice. Talk. Invite people who inspire you to your show. You know,
Use one of the first.
one one message. You know, you'll be surprised about what can come about if you invite people to your show. That's what I learned, bro.
Yeah,
Like, you know, you never know who you meet through connections that
yeah.
you know.
It's the great
So,
unknown. I mean, that's the stories. That's essentially the stories of Abraham. You know, this is a guy who
mm,
lived till I think he was like 80 or 90. I don't know what the exact specifics are in the Bible, but you know, Abraham lived till he was like 80 or 90. And that once he was 80 or 90, that's when God told him to leave his house,
mm,
you know, and he told him to sacrifice his son at the end of all the adventures and sacrifice, you know, he sacrificed his wife essentially. You know, so like
damn.
he sacrificed his home of 80 years, and then after all that, God still asked him for more sacrifices. And but like none of those other sacrifices that came afterwards, the first one that had to come was he had to sacrifice his home. He had to leave. He had to go out into the world. He had to experience. And I forgot the exact tonality as to why I brought this analogy up was, but you know, I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna rewatch the show and I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, that's why I said it. But um, it's 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 crucial. It's crucial to live, bro. You had, as you said, even down to like exercise. Like it's not good to, like you literally said it yourself. It's not good to just be in these four walls that we call our room. Like you got to go outside. You got to exercise. You got to get the heart racing and all that shit. Which is why I've been mad at you, because I'm like, damn, bro, he's running and I'm not. You know, he's running and I'm not, bro. Like it's a whole lot of, again. It just all connects, bro. It just all connects. It's the craziest fucking
That's
thing.
bro, and this is why I enjoy what I do because I feel like I do inspire people. I do. I, what I want my viewers to feel. Yo, shout out one of my professors. He asked us for an assignment. What do you want your viewers to feel? What do you want your viewers to think? And what do you want your viewers to do?
Mhm.
And those three questions stuck with me with all my projects and just the way I do. Like, you know, I want people to go out, fucking exercise, bro. I want people to go out and just be comfortable in their own skin. You know what I'm saying? I want people to go out and pursue the dreams that they dream of. So like to hear that you want to run now because you see me running, that's just gonna make me keep running to show like running can change your life.
Yeah.
Running is all mental. Life is mental. Everything is mental, bro. It's only here. You know what I'm saying? If you can't control this will control you.
Yeah. Shit,
And
bro.
and that's why,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, bro? Like that's something I learned. And I thank God for putting me through that last relationship I was in because I was blinded by everything. It was just this one girl, bro. It was more to life than that, you know.
You ever
with God,
seen
bro. Everything
you ever seen
is
that
repeatable.
study that I mean it's an old one, but it's like the
Mm.
study where they're like it the question is like, can you count how many passes the basketball team does? And it's like two teams. There's like a team with dark jerseys and a team with light jersey, and it says like how many passes does each one make? And then like at the end of the video, you've counted and you're like, okay, yeah, the answer is like 15 passes. And then the question after that is like, did you see the gorilla? And it's like what gorilla? And
I think I've heard of that. I
it's
heard
an
of that
old one.
before.
Like if you go on YouTube, you can look
Yeah,
it up. It's in black and white. Like this shit is old as fuck. So I'm sure you've
yeah,
probably heard of it. But it's like, you would answer confidently, like, oh yeah, the answer is 15 or 20 or whatever. And then it asks you after that. It's like, all right, but did you see the gorilla? And it's like, what fucking gorilla? Like, what are you talking
yeah.
about? And it's so crazy how like the study is scientific, but it just goes to show that even down into a religious context, it's like we're blinded by ambition. The ambition initially, the question before the study starts is count how many passes. It tells you what to do, right? But
Uh-huh.
it doesn't tell you to look for the gorilla, right? Like it doesn't say
Mm.
that. And so like we're
Yeah,
so focused, we're locked in, we're like, all right, we're counting. We're like, all right, this team is doing this many passes, this team is doing that many passes. And then you rewind the video and then it's like, holy shit, there was a fucking gorilla. The gorilla's just in the middle of fucking nowhere, just like dancing in the middle of the court, you know? And it's like, oh shit. And what it teaches, it's like we're blinded by ambition. If you lock, we're so focused on what we're doing, but it's like if you just zoom out every once in a while, you'll see the shit
yes,
that
yes.
like you weren't supposed to that you weren't meant to see, but it's there. And it's like some
I love that you said that to take a moment and zoom out. And that's something I've put into my life. Any stress or anything, pause, breathe, zoom out. Yeah, man. Like you really look at your problems or anything differently if you really just sit down and just sit with yourself. I sit with myself often now.
Mhm.
Back then, I was never sitting with myself, bro. I was just on go on 100. You know me.
Mhm.
You know me, bro. But like, you do mature in life. Everybody, you're humans are meant to evolve.
Yeah.
We're meant to evolve. You and I would be great.
Because we're literally the product of evolution. I'm somebody who believes that evolution and Christianity are one. I don't think that they're separate. Like there's always this debate between the two, and I'm like, they're one. Like it's for me. I think that the reconciliation between science and religion is just one. I don't
Mm,
because to exactly what you're saying, humans evolve like by nature. We evolve. We sin and then we learn from sin. Like
yes.
that literally is evolution. It's just crazy how shit works. But yeah, man, it's so wild to see how shit works. I'm like looking at some of these bullet points and I'm like, I have no idea how to transition
Yeah.
into them just because of
Yeah. Talk to me. How we segueing into that?
yeah, bro.
We just letting it flow, bro. Life is just flowing right now.
Again, bro, like there's just so much shit that like I've been wanting to talk to you about, and like I don't know, like
Talk
I
to
can't
me.
just do it through
Talk to me.
text, bro. I can't just be like, yo, bro, like this is what I
Yeah.
feel like I'm like
I don't want to
now.
digress. I want to mark off all your points, bro. I don't want to digress. I don't want to go off
Yeah.
topic.
Um One of the things that I remember you initially started on, and that there's nothing specific about this question. I just want you to just like speak on it. But one of
Okay.
the first projects that I remember you took on in your social media career was the Masks project. And
Mm.
I think you posted recently that that's something you might want to restart up, but whether you restarted it up or not, I don't know. But I just want you to I wanted you to elaborate on that project and what maybe why that
Okay.
led to where you are today, like what your social media presence is today. Like I don't know, just
Mm.
elaborate on all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay. So that idea started after I had a foot injury. I
Mm.
broke I broke a metatarsal bone on my foot. I fractured it. So I was stuck in my room, bedridden, couldn't go out, and I wasn't working at the time. So I'm like, how am I gonna make money if I'm not working? So a random burst of inspiration. Damn, I'm happy you asked this because I don't know how it
I
began.
told you I've
I
been
just
watching,
made
bro. I told you.
I just I just made it happen.
Mm.
Kanye West was trending at that time, I believe, because he
Mm.
announced that he want to run for president or something, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I've always loved clothing, but I didn't know how to make hats. I didn't know how to make shirts, jeans, hoodies, and anything. So I was like, Kanye is trending. He had this mask on. I saw the mask. I'm like, I just looked up a tutorial how to do it. I went thrifting. I found t-shirts, and I used to smoke a lot back then. So when I was high, I just had voices in my head, as crazy as that sounds. I had ideas in my head, and I just did it with a boot on my foot. Um, I learned how to sew a mask off 2 YouTube tutorials, and that was a big part of my life because I was just really focused on that one thing and one thing
Mm.
only was to make money. But the time and effort and energy I put into that, it paid off. I went to sleep thinking about what's my next move. I woke up, first thing was let's get to it. And I believe that's why my first drop was successful because of the time and effort I put into it. And the reason why I steered away from it is because school's taking up a lot of my time and my current job is taking up my time. Um, I also surprised myself unknowingly. I sold out first week, bro. I sold out.
Fucking A, bro.
Something I learned from that. I only did that for like 2, 3 months and then I stopped. Everybody tells me keep doing it. Why aren't you doing it? I'm just like, yo, school this, school that, but that's just me putting up excuses. That's me being lazy. Um, I I have a sewing machine here too, and ironically, it's the only thing I have left of my grandmother on my mom's side.
Mm.
Lolakani, I have. It's her sewing machine. So every day I think to myself, that can be her thing to make me rich or like successful. With these masks, I have so many plans. It's just a matter of me doing it, and I do see why I am a little lazy. I do see why I'm steering away from it. But school, man, school just takes up time. And talk about school, like I feel like I'm really just living for my family, not for myself. Like I feel like they compare me to all of my successful siblings. No, like Zoe and all my successful cousins I met. So I feel like I'm just doing this to prove to them, like, oh, here, I got a degree. Now it's time to get a career. But deep down, Roderick, I don't think I'm gonna have a 9 to 5, bro, to make
No,
me money.
I don't think. I don't think so either. For you,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Every day I think, am I living for them or am I living for me?
I
But
literally
that's
can't
the
see you in an office, bro. I just can't. I can't. I can't. I just don't
right.
see you. I just don't see you in an office.
Me neither. So like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I want to get out. This is why I want to get out this household and achieve and pursue my dream. I don't even know what my dream is, but I just feel like something's there, along with fashion and like big celebrities, giving my stuff to big brand people and then taking off from there. But I have an idea for these masks. It's just a matter of me actually getting up, physically doing it handmade.
Hmm.
I have all these ideas. And maybe after this, you never know. Maybe this inspired me and motivated me to fucking do it, bro.
Hmm.
Make my dreams come true as well as for you. Because we
I
both got dreams.
I wanted to buy one, but the issue is I'm not somebody like I wear bland ass clothing. Like I'm not the guy who would do it, who would do the masks any justice. Like realistically speaking, you know, like all I would do is I'd put it on and I'd take it off so I could go back to work. You know, like plus like
Yeah,
Connecticut is dead. Like the fashion sense of Connecticut is fucking dead, bro. Like it's so bad over here, bro. It's so bad over here.
New York is where it's at, bro.
Easily, hands down, hands down. But I just
And like I feel like Japan just as well.
oh, I want to go to
I want
Japan
to
so
go
bad.
there. Trip. We're making a trip.
Bro, the second I get like I get a nice chunk of money in my bank account, bro, like I've been wanting to go to Japan for so fucking long, bro. So long.
Yo, if we were to go, you know my vibe. You know what I'm saying? We can interview, bro. We could go to like a nightclub. I'll be like, hey, can I speak to your owner? Yo, me and my friend want to interview you about your success of bringing this nightclub.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm already seeing like us finessing ways to bring your show to Japan.
Hell yeah. I'm fucking
You know what I'm
I'm
saying, bro?
fucking down, bro. I'm signed up already. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? Let me sign. Let me sign, bro. Yeah, let me
You
fucking
know,
sign off on that shit.
interviewing, yo, people would love to be interviewed, just like how this. I love this, bro. I'm sure people want to tell their story. You know what I'm saying?
It's what I said at the
So
beginning
I'm
of the show.
excited.
Like people don't resonate with clarity. People resonate with truth. And when people get the
Mm,
opportunity to tell their truth, it's all that they want. It's what I want. It's what you want.
yeah,
It's
bro.
what
Yeah,
everybody
bro.
wants. I got one of the first guests that I had on was my boy Charlie. He's and I'm not even saying this to blow smoke up his ass. I'm not even fucking kidding. He's probably the best DJ at the very least in the Northeast. He,
Hey,
house music DJ. He's the fucking best.
I
He's in
fucking love house music. I
he
love house music, bro.
he's down in Florida for Miami Music Week right now. He's always networking, bro. I always tell him it's so crazy how far this motherfucker went, bro. And Charlie, if you watching this, bro, I love you. It's just I'm not, bro. Like I tell this to
Shout
Charlie
out
all the
Charlie,
fucking
man.
time, and he knows I tell him this all the time. He went so far without releasing a single track, bro. This motherfucker is like this with some of the biggest heads in the fucking industry without releasing a single track. That's how fucking good he is, bro. That's how good he is.
Damn,
He introduced me to some of the biggest heads, bro.
bro.
It's some
Document
shit.
his life and your life, bro. I gotta document your life, bro.
Bro,
Make movies of your life, bro.
uh bro, I got a couple projects that are like, if you were to pull up here, I was gonna show you like, you know, some of the shit, which I could still show you. It's just I would have to do it through like email and shit. I don't know. I have to work all the details out. But
Mm,
there's a few like small like movie projects that I want to work on that I'm working on in
good.
that regard. But like Charlie's
That's
making a
great.
life movie that's way bigger than anything I can make. And
We gotta document him, bro. For
bro, he's
real.
so good. He's so fucking
Cause
good, bro.
bro,
Holy
when I
shit,
tell
he's
you
good.
the way I love house music, bro. Summer, I was at a rave, and it might sound weird. It was a rave in Dykeman in the woods till 7, 8 in the morning, bro. I was dancing nonstop. I love that shit.
That's
So if I was to be really set behind him with the camera, yeah. And then after we interview him, me and you, or you interview him and
mhm.
his DJ collaborators.
That
You know what I'm
might be
saying?
the thing because one of the issues that I've seen that he has, it's not his fault. It just happens to be the issue that I'm sure most DJs deal or most creators deal with is when you know, he likes to focus on his music as he should. There's no problem with that.
Yeah,
And
that's the
because of
thing.
that, he can't focus on the video aspect and the media aspect. And I tried to be that guy, but I'm also trying to make a name for myself. And what I try to do doesn't directly align with what he's doing, but it's hard to word this properly. I feel like this platform, my show, is where I feel like I can benefit him the best, which is why he was one of the first episodes. I want him to have content like his. I posted a reel yesterday with from his episode. Like that's the kind of shit that I want to
Yeah,
give to
yeah. I
him.
seen it. I
Kind
seen
of
it.
like exactly like what you're saying, like via his interview. But part of his thing is that he doesn't have a videographer and a photographer that's constant and good for all for all intents and purposes. There's been
Yeah,
some
that'll
good.
commit to him.
Right, exactly. And the issue is like, of course you can always find somebody that's good, but that's just fucking bread. And part of our early careers, because he's in the same boat that we are, is that it's expensive, bro. Like we got to do everything ourselves. We have to do everything ourselves. And my approach to everything and what I wanted to do for him and what I wanted to do for me was to do everything in-house. But there's not enough to build the structure. It's like when again, kind of like using the house as the kind of building the house and anecdote again. We just don't have all the materials to build the house. We know how to build it. We just don't have all the materials. And so it's one of those things where I want to naturally gather as many materials as possible so that we can exchange our services without having to spend bread. Right? Where our services are so good that they replace the money. And the work pays off for everybody at the same time. Because if my show pays off for him, that literally means that my show gets paid off at the same time. Because if he gets famous through my show, or at least one of the avenues by which he gets famous is through my show, that literally means that I get paid. So without money being involved, we both get paid. And so it's one of those things where like we just need to do everything in-house. And that's what I want for him and what I want to do the best, but I want to do it in a way that it just works all cohesively. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. He's had a lot of issues with people fucking him over, a lot of people falling through the cracks. And I was there for it. And I feel terrible, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And so the reason why I was bringing all that up is like, bro, like to literally what you're saying, I couldn't agree more. I literally couldn't agree more. Same shit, whether it's the people in Japan, my boy Charlie, or whatever. It's
2025 or 2026? Let me know, man.
Both of them. Both of them, bro.
Bro, you are about to meet. You gonna go to Tokyo with me, bro? Oh, I have buddies that's already planning out there and that are already connected with like nightclubs. I have a buddy that's a musician, has his own brand, so I could get both of us fly and go anywhere in Tokyo, bro. And I need Charlie there with us, bro, to DJ wherever we go, bro.
He's so good that it honestly feels to the point where I need to step it up a lot. Like that's how good he is. Like he's just so ahead of the game. He's so close to he needs one. I mean, technically we all need that one thing. That's the best part about being a creative is that we just need one thing to pop off. Mm-hmm. We're going to take 1,000 failures, but we just need one. Mm-hmm. We just need one. But he's a lot closer than I am. And thank goodness for that. I mean, that's literally what I want for the people around me. I have so many projects that I want to get back into music production again. The reason I had to stop on it too much was because I was doing it for the money. And music creativity is different because if you do it for the money, you're never going to create good music.
Exactly.
You're just never going to create good music.
Do it for the love. Do it for the trueness out of you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what will, like you said, resonate with others. Through you.
So yeah, man, nah, bro. Like literally, once all this shit ends, obviously we're gonna keep in touch. I'm gonna try my fucking best because I'll admit my big weakness is that communication thing that I was speaking about because it is a true weakness. The reason why it was a problem in the first place was because communication is a big weakness. I'm an introvert because I had to be so conservative in moving away because I couldn't establish those close circles that a lot of people have that I don't. Even to this day, I don't have that shit. So like I'm a lot of my world is in these four walls, which is why I resonate so much when you say shit like, yo, get out of those four fucking walls. Like that's why I was always attracted to your vibe and shit. Why I'm attracted to Charlie's vibe, because you motherfuckers do shit out in the world. And you guys do it without giving a fuck, bro. Like you don't give a fuck if it's perfect. You don't give a fuck if it doesn't work. You just do it. And that's why like I'm trying to be like you guys. And I'm not and I don't mean that in a way of like I want to throw away myself. Part of my twist to what you guys inspire me to do is adding my twist to the shit. So
Yeah, bro. I'm excited to see your work, man.
um
Keep it going, man.
hell yeah,
That's the
bro.
only way.
Hell
The
yeah.
only way.
Um I don't know how much time you got left. I don't know if you're feeling tired of this shit already or not, but
Are you?
no, the most I can keep going with these things. Yeah,
He said, nah, bro.
I got another drink cooling off in the freezer, bro. Like,
I still got this whole thing.
shit, say less. I'm gonna grab another one then. Fuck out. I ran out of I don't have that many bullet points. The last bullet points that I had for you were stuff that I
Yeah,
was gonna
talk to
use
me.
like
What's up?
towards the end of the show, but I'll spit them out
Shit,
now.
bro.
Yeah. I mean, because it was the way I go. Like again, I don't when I do these shows, I want to take it with the approach of like, again, I don't want it to sound like an interview. Actually, as a matter of fact, at the beginning of the show, I don't even know if we did it like during the part where it's after I gave you the introduction or like right when we first started. But one of the first things that I remember we talked about was like one of the tricks to like public speaking and all that shit. And one of the things I learned was I'll even give it like the full backstory since we're not pressed for time.
Yeah.
Again, everything fucking connects. When I moved to Rockland and growing up the way that I did, one of the issues that I had as a youngin in middle school and early high school, not later high school. Well, actually, yeah, maybe even later high school, was talking to women. It's the casual, like the guy doesn't know how to talk to girls or whatever. That's the common story and shit like that. And it wasn't until my early 20s when I learned that women hate when you talk to them in an interview style, right? And nobody likes the how was your day? How are you? And like, yes, it's good to use if you're like already kind of like in a relationship or whatever. Like, of course, like, hey baby, how was your day or whatever. Like that's fine. I'm not saying don't ask them how their day was. Every girl likes to be asked how their day was. But that's not the point. The point being is most men try to talk to women in an interview style. They ask them like, what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? It's like, bro,
What's your favorite color?
Yeah, bro. It's not a fucking interview, bro. And then what I learned was it's not a woman thing. It's a human thing. People don't like to be interviewed unless there's like a certain context where it is like a podcast or a show or whatever, where the goal before they walk on stage was they knew they were going to get interviewed. That's besides the point. That's the rare thing. The common thing is people just get walked up to and they just start getting asked interview questions. And it's like, nobody likes a fucking interview. Unless we're getting paid to do it, we don't like fucking interviews. And that's what I learned among people. And when it comes to like public speaking and stuff like that, aside from all the stuff that I had mentioned before, a little bit of nuances is like, don't approach communication as an interview, which is why I like to have this approach in my show, where it's like, it's a conversation. It's not an interview. I even said it in the middle of the show. It's not an interview. I have bullet points to ask because curiosity is different than interview. I like to, you should be asking people questions regardless, but there's a balance, right? You can ask questions, but you want to talk. You want to crack jokes. You want to share a drink. You want You want to do separate shit. You know, poke a little fun. You know, make a little fun of somebody. You know, have fun with the conversation, but don't ask an interview. Interviews are boring. And so yeah, bro. Like I forgot again why we brought this up, but the point still stands. It's like people don't like interviews. I learned that it wasn't just like an approach and a thing on how do you approach women. It's just how do you approach people, man. Just to don't. And that's the show. That's the theme that I want to put emphasis on my show. Is that it's not an interview. It's a
Yeah.
conversation. Of course, I got questions. I
Definitely.
got hella questions. You know, I,
Yeah.
I ask God questions all the time. Like I got hella questions, but it's not about the questions. It's about cohesiveness, talking, communication.
Yeah.
Communication can't be limited to a question. If I say something wrong, I want you to correct me. Like that's the
Yeah.
point. That's the
Yeah.
fucking point.
Yeah. I think when in general, like I agree with people with you saying they don't like being asked questions. Like that I think being asked so being asked questions about themselves so abruptly would of course make them feel uncomfortable. So a trick that I do, you know, in general, unless we want to talk about women,
We could
I
talk about the
tend
ladies.
to we could talk about the ladies. I bet.
I got no
I
problem.
got the soul.
I like me a little poom poom. You know what I'm
You and I both.
saying?
Yeah. So right, or like that I do. I look at them, I look at an article of clothing, because you know women, they're gonna dress to impress.
Right.
Definitely. So of course they're gonna get if she's attractive, she's gonna get hit on for her bodily features. You know, fat ass, shit like that.
Mm.
What I do, I love those though. But what I do is I compliment a piece of their clothing, and from there, bro, it flows so naturally. You don't gotta ask, "How was your day? What you doing? You single?" Da da da. Tell them you like. Tell them you like their eyebrows. Tell them you like their shirt. Where'd you get that from? And those could be the first few questions. And then from there, talk about what you're interested in. Talk about what she's interested in, and boom, you're
Boom.
connected. That's what I did last night. I was in the city in Lower East Side. I saw a girl's jacket. I was like, "Yo, I really like your jacket. Where'd you get it from?" And then from there, she was invested. She didn't like brush me off, you know, because if you approach them, what's your name? Where you from?
It's
They're
the same shit that
automatically,
everybody asks, brother. You don't stick out at
yeah,
all.
exactly. So with me, be different,
Yeah.
be different, and that's a good conversation starters to compliment them because they're also presenting themselves in this world.
Right.
So if you make them feel comfortable, they'll be open to you. If you don't, they'll close you off just like that because they're so used to men hitting on them, whatever, whatever. So definitely, man. I love to compliment stuff about them, and that's when a trick is when they ask after you ask their name, and if they ask for your name, like what's your name by the way, they're interested.
Yep. Yeah.
If they don't ask for your name, bro, that's it. They'll have
Walk
a good one.
away.
Yeah, yeah. I don't be a dickhead about it. I don't be like, yo, have a good one.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, approaching. I learned. You live and you learn. Definitely when it comes to approaching, and even in public settings. Say you're at a bar or
Yeah.
a club, a night lounge, and you just want to get used to talking to people. Be like, yo, bro, I fuck with that jacket. Bro, I fuck with your style.
Guys
Boom.
guys get complimented so little. Like us guys get complimented so little that like that's why I'm saying like there's certain shit that just works with humans. Like if you just know how to talk to a human, you're good, bro. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
overcomplicate the issue. You know, like that's just so crazy. Like it's crazy because I wasn't going to, but I wanted to like interrupt you a little bit, like saying like, yo, like it's so crazy how many times I've been in public, and there has been times where I've genuinely seen a motherfucker with like a fire jacket or some fire shoes, and I'm like, bro, like I want those shoes, like you know what I'm saying?
yo, I dare you. Say that. Keeping it to yourself. Say it and watch the conversation go and go, go. Promise you that, bro. You will be surprised about the friendships you make,
Yeah. There,
or
there's
just connection.
there's like a little thing where, because again, I'm not saying don't ask questions, right? Because kind of like even what you're saying is like, of
Yeah.
course, you inevitably ask a question at some point or another, right? You want to keep the ratio like 9 to 1. You know, one question, 9 statements. What I always tell my buddies, I got a couple buddies who, ironically, they all have girls and I don't. But I always told them, I'm like, yo, like when you're approaching women, you want to use mostly statements. It's like, hey, I like your jacket. That's not a question. That's a
Mm,
statement, right? Like, I like your jacket.
yeah.
And they tell you, oh, I got it from here. Oh, I got it from this. And if, funny enough, like, I mean, aside from like, when you get into the specifics of dating, if they don't like you, they'll make it very known, like, okay, thank you. And then you just walk away. If they keep the details very low, they don't like you. But even like when it comes to women specifically, but I even use this with both men and women just to like spark up good vibes and good energy, is I love to tease people, bro. I love to
Mm.
tease people. Um, like, what's a stupid one? Um, there's a few of them that I've used. There was one time where I went to Utah, right? And
Okay.
so there was a trip that I took a while ago where I took a lap around the United States. I took my new truck and I took a lap around the state. I took a lap around the states. Yeah,
Oh my God, I wish you documented that.
I
No.
I did. And that's one of the projects I'm working on. So
Yes.
yeah, bro.
I'm watching that shit. Yo, do you
Yeah.
want editing? I got you.
Say that, bro. You know, I don't have like a lot of footage, but I want to make do with what I got. I want to make do with what I got. And ironically, there's like a little bit of a
Perfect.
love story that's kind of tied to it. So there's a little bit of a spice to it. But the point is I made a U-turn. I passed Colorado and I made a U-turn in Utah, went down south. And in that U-turn, I was seeing somebody down in Utah and like I was essentially saying my goodbye to that person. And while I was staying there for a couple days to pass the time, I went to a bar. And while I was at that bar, I don't know anybody there. I'm the fucking outcast. Again, I was always the outcast since third grade. This is why everything fucking
Mhm.
connects, right? Since fucking leaving St. Anthony school, I've been the outcast. And part of being that shit is once I got there, I finally, like, I had already gotten my drift on being a professional outcast. As a matter of fact, I thrive in being the outcast. And one of the things I did was I made fun of the cute girls that were there, but I also made fun of the homies, the newfound homies, the temporary ones. I'd never talked to any of those motherfuckers again. But in that moment, just to pass the time, I was making fun of these people for being bad at pool. I went to a dive bar and I made fun of them. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was shooting the shit. That's what we call it. I was shooting the shit. I made fun of them. Ha 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 ha. They laughed. I laughed. They made fun of my gameplay. I was terrible at pool. But the point is, it's like making fun of people worked a little bit better. I don't mean saying disrespect anybody. There's a difference between disrespecting and making fun of them. I just want to say I was just making fun of them. That's all. They made fun of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
The point is it worked hell of a lot better than where are you from? What's your favorite color? It worked so much better because people love statements. They just love statements. People, especially women. This one is specifically towards women. They love correcting men. What I do when I'm flirting with women is I purposely say something wrong. I say this one I'm making up. I'll say if their hair is blonde, I'll say your hair is yellow. It's like, no, it's blonde, right? And so because they're correcting me, now I take a little bit of real estate in their head. They're like, no, he's wrong. Like it's like stupid shit. It's stupid shit. I love and now that I'm drawing back, that was kind of the point where I was saying all this is like I learned through like reading, through experience and all that shit that people just love all different kinds of communication, but they hate interview, bro. As long as you don't do interview, you're good. All right, and we're back. But yeah, no, it's that's just how it is, bro. People, I don't know, people are just so interesting, and like part of like there's a balance, right? Like the point of an interview is so weird. Like, oh, this is so crazy. People, an interview is just another fancy word for putting a spotlight on somebody. That's all it is.
And that is uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. So if you do it right, it's seamless. It's cohesive.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
It's perfect. And here's what makes it cohesive is if they want to do it. And how do you get somebody to want to be in the spotlight? Kind of like the trick that I said before is you say something wrong so that they bring themselves into the spotlight, right? That'll be like my trick, right? I'm not saying that's the trick, it's just my trick. I'll say something stupid like, like your eyelashes are too long, and they'll be like, no, like, it's like, you kind of make fun of them a little bit. It's like, and then after they correct, you'd be like, well, I like it though, I like long lashes. It's like and it's just so like you could do so much with saying something, and even with the homies, when I'm just trying to like, again, when I'm in the middle of Utah or in the middle of Colorado, in the middle of Texas or in the middle of Wyoming, I'm just trying to meet people so I don't feel left out. And so my goal isn't to like flirt with women. It's just to kind of play with people. And so even with guys, I'll be like, yo, bro, that jacket looks funny on you. They always touch their jacket. They always touch it. Like you tell somebody something, they fucking touch it. I notice little details like that. It's like, yo, that shit looks funny on you, but where'd you get it though? Like, it's like, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
It's a nice segue into a good combo for sure.
But in a way, the point is like people walk themselves into the spotlight, then they don't feel as uncomfortable about it.
Yeah.
I
get it.
So yeah, that's kind of why even like during our conversation, I'll say I won't even ask you a question directly. I'll just kind of touch upon a topic, and then I'll just allow you to elaborate on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought this went fucking great.
I'm glad to hear, bro. This is going fantastic.
2 fucking hours passed, and it felt like we've only been talking for an hour, bro.
Right? It's just timeless, bro.
That's how I want to be, bro. It's fucking timeless.
It's fucking timeless, man. Timeless. It's so crazy.
Yo, I really enjoyed that intro you did for me, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. And again, bro, like it's so, and funny enough, the show itself proved it because we touched upon a few of the topics that I actually like. I said a few keywords in the intro that we ended up elaborating on during the show, and it just goes to show that like I wasn't fucking lying when I say that shit. Well, I don't mean to be like, oh, I just spit on my fucking mic. That's nasty as fuck. But yeah, this is like fucking like this shit gay as fuck. Like, yeah, but I've like the goal when I do those intros. I spend more time. Like last night, it was about like 5 a.m, and I was working on our show. And I try not to put that much effort into the setup because the more effort I put into something, the more pressure it builds up to it. And then when there's more pressure, the expectations rise. And I don't want to have any expectations. Yeah. I feel like if I trust our dynamic to the point where like every time we chilled, every time we talked, we always vibed enough to the point where like I know that I don't have to have pressure to make this shit work. And so that aside, though, that point aside, I at least want to put a little bit of effort into at least the time that you're taking out of your day to, to speak to me and all that shit. And given that it is the context of all this is a show, I did spend more time thinking about a quick paragraph on the kind of introduction I could give to you. And the goal for my introductions that you'll see, even if you don't watch the whole episode, you could at least watch the introductions that I give to the other guests that I had on the show. My goal with those introductions is to be as honest as fucking possible. That's the goal.
I appreciated it, bro.
That's the fucking goal. I want I trust my gut in what I see in you and in the people that I picked to be around me in life, because I knew that that people like my mom were always wrong. Even though I was fighting against the waves, I was going against the current. I knew that those people were wrong. And at some point in life, like that's one of the biggest gifts that God gave to me, was the lesson that, like, yo, Rod, this is God's words. It's like, yo, Rod, I made you who you are, which
Yeah,
includes your judgment in life.
yeah.
And
Just flow with the water. Flow like water. Flow like water. Try not to swim against it. That's something I learned from my last heartbreak, bro. Like
it's
that ass.
it's embracing the truth
Yep.
and
Can't force shit.
trusting my gut, trusting my eyes, trusting my knowledge. And I'm
Trust
like,
in the Lord.
trusting the Lord. That's the most important one. That's the most important
Facts,
one.
bro. Facts, bro. Facts, bro. Facts.
Um, One of the closing questions that I had for you, I kind of asked you at the beginning of the show,
Mm.
but you're going to be the first person that I kind of want to re-ask the question,
Oh shit.
um, which is, what do you want from life?
What do I want from life?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm going to take a sip.
I would just say I feel like not the American dream, bro, but like a word that has been sticking with me as of late would be success.
Hmm.
I want in life success, bro. And it don't have to be financially or like money wise. It's just I want to achieve everything that I desire and dream of. That is what to me success would be. Just like with this college shit, that would be a huge achievement for me, and that is success. You know, success would be I think overcoming a heartbreak is also success. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Interesting.
Finding myself is success. Pursuing my purpose, finding my purpose is success.
Finding your
You know what I'm
purpose.
saying?
You just said a lot, bro. You just said a lot. I don't know if you have the time or whatever, but if you could, I'd like you to elaborate on that. And if you don't, that's totally fine. But
My purpose?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think I'm still working on that in a way.
Hmm.
Tremendously, I'm still working on it.
And do you think your purpose is the work, or do you think there is like a purpose that you're working towards?
Yeah, I think a purpose I'm working towards would be taking care of the family, bro.
Mm.
That is us, me and you being family oriented. I think success to me would be, and my purpose would be for my family to not struggle. Like when I leave this earth, I would want my lineage to not struggle the way I did. I want them to know my name and know what I've brought to the family type shit. Like
Hmm.
that's Myles. Myles did this for us, whatever. You know, my purpose is to leave a message behind and just be a name for myself, bro. I don't want to die like as a nobody. You know what I'm saying? I want to die and have a fucking statue of me or something. I want my name to live forever. That's a
Mm.
purpose. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
I gotta upgrade my
But-
purpose now. Yeah, I gotta change my shit. Hold on, where's my pen?
All right, so we got the Japan flight.
Yeah.
My man,
And get a statue of myself. Copy.
yo, yo, thank you for that question, bro. Because I think about my purpose often,
Mhm.
and now I ask you, what's your purpose?
I wasn't expecting that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that. I'll answer it like this. part of my conflict in life, and I might get a little bit real in the show, and part of the show is again me being honest. So I'm sticking to my word. I'm gonna post this as is. But I've been dealing with a serious bout of depression over the last year and a half. And part of the causality of that depression is that given the childhood that I had and how confusing it was, because living in a middle class neighborhood, everything was pretty, everything was, everything was set. Like my mom was always cleaning the house, like, and I use that as an analogy to, like, she always had a clean house but never a clean attitude. And so like it was always like the visual effect of the house that I was raised in was everything was perfect, but when the doors were closed and everybody was gone, shit was fucking chaotic. And the reason why I'm saying all that is that most of my life, like 98% of it, the last 2% being like the last 2 years of it, 98% of my life was not in my control, as I said earlier in the show. So it wasn't me. If I wasn't in control, that means it wasn't me. And so over the past 2 years, I finally been able to, like, express myself out into the world. It's the reason why my podcast, this show, has been introduced in my late 20s and not in my early 20s. It's the reason why these dynamics, these relationships are spawning now. Like, I hope after this show, this dynamic continues. Even if I struggle in continuing communication, I hope that it's something that sticks with me for the rest of my life.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
that shit always there. That shit always there, Brody. Come on, man.
and so
Come on, man.
it's part of, like, there's always that, like, little sliver of shit that, like, I'm trying to revive. There's always something about me that, like, didn't get to live until literally just now. A lot of reason why that I traveled so much as a kid, as a teenager, because I mostly traveled for most of my life. The reason I traveled a lot wasn't because I liked traveling, even though that was what I said at the time. It was because I just wanted to escape where I was. So I never got to enjoy the traveling. I only enjoyed it because I escaped the hellhole that I was living in. And so I've been dealing with this depressive bout because of the fact that I never got to live who I was and the life that I wanted to live. And I still really can't do so because I'm now at this point, now the only main issue is that I'm fucking dead broke. And I'm fine with that. I'm okay with it. But to answer the question that I gave to you that now you're throwing back at me, which screw you for. I wasn't expecting that. Um, to me, my purpose would be to live the life that I want. But before I can
Mm.
make my purpose come to fruition, I have to find out what I want. And I'm finally getting to live that first goal out. So my purpose in life is going to be found out later, and I'm trusting in God for that part. Um, my job, God is taking care of my purpose, but God doesn't give people handouts. He wants you to
Yep.
do a lot of the
Yep.
work first. And
For
the
sure.
job that he handed me first is to find the purpose, and he'll make that purpose come to fruition.
Definitely.
That's the best way that I
There,
can answer that.
there's Thank you for your answer, bro. There's a question that always stuck with me that I found from a social like an influencer of mine.
Mhm.
The question is, it always stuck with me, bro. It's simple, but yet effective. The question to myself is, are you you? Question mark.
Mhm.
Are you you?
I just got
Are
chills, bro.
you? I'm saying, Roderick, ask yourself that. Write that shit on your wall. Are you you? You know what I'm saying, bro? Are you you or are you somebody else in a different body? Be your authentic self, bro. Be you. That's how I could end it, bro. Ask yourself that, bro. You know what
I
I'm
could go
saying?
on for that topic for another 2 hours, bro. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy.
That's a question that resonates with me, and I hope it could stick with you and make you find your purpose, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro. You know what? I
With
think
God's
that's
guidance.
a perfect way to end it, bro. That's a perfect way to end it. Hell yeah, bro. Miles, I could not appreciate this conversation because, again, it's not an interview. I could not appreciate this conversation anymore. Myles, God bless you, bro. I really appreciate your time. We're gonna stay in touch by
Yo,
force,
bro,
bro.
I'm a
I got.
phone call away, text message away.
Don't make me cry.
I'll
Don't
try my
fucking make
best.
me cry. Don't make me cry, you motherfucker.
I'm gonna hop in the shower. That's
Yeah,
it.
bro. That shit's crazy, bro. Don't. That shit gets me mad emotional, bro. That shit gets me emotional, bro. This is a dynamic that I've always wanted to make work because I knew shit was not what it was taught to me to be. This is a dynamic that I always knew was profitable, inspirational, and all that shit. And Myles, God fucking bless you. Sorry, God, for cursing, but I gotta do it because I gotta put emphasis on it.
God bless you too. God bless you too,
Um,
my brother.
Glad to hear from you, bro. I appreciate your time, and I'm gonna let you go, bro. Have
For
a good night,
sure,
man.
man. Yo, text away, call away, man. Keep in touch, all right?
Say that, my boy. Peace out,
Love
bro.
you, Rock.
Love you too, bro. Peace out.
Later.